This is not the start to the season that Dolphins fans hoped for. On the second day of training camp, their star cornerback Jalen Ramsey collided with Tyreek Hill when they were running 11-on-11 drills, and he injured his meniscus. Practice stopped and he had to be carted off the field, and of course fans started freaking out. But luckily, it wasn't the ACL or something more serious. The meniscus injury did require surgery though, and they didn't waste any time. He got injured on Thursday, and by Friday, he had already underwent a successful operation. The original timeline that was reported was 6 to 8 weeks. However, post-surgery, the final timeline that was given will have him out until December. 6 to 8 weeks was a very hopeful prognosis. And of course, with the season being 6 weeks away, I'm sure there was a lot of pressure on Jalen to just shave the meniscus off and keep it moving. When you injure your meniscus, you have two options of how to repair it. You can either shave off the damaged part, in which case you will be back in about 6 to 8 weeks, or you could have it surgically repaired. If you have it surgically repaired, the rehab process is a bit longer, almost twice as long in a lot of cases. However, doctors say that repairing it is much better for your long-term health as an athlete. So Jalen had a tough decision to make. Option 1, get the damaged part of the meniscus shaved off, and if he chose option 1, then he could have been back for the start of the season. He would have only missed one game at the most. And for a highly competitive athlete, I'm sure that was a pretty tempting option. You miss the rest of training camp and the first couple weeks of practice, but you don't miss any games. On the flip side, he could have also shaved a couple of years off of his playing career by choosing this option. Option 2 is to get the meniscus surgically repaired, and this means a much longer recovery process. Option 2 means that you miss half of the season. You have to sit on the sideline and watch your brothers go to war without you for a while. It's a crappy feeling, but Jalen is only 28. He's in his prime right now, and you don't want to risk your longevity just to play in the first 3 or 4 games of the season. It's not worth it. So I think he made the right decision. But there have been many star athletes who decided to get the meniscus shaved in order to come back quicker and be there for their teams. Cam Johnson just did it, and Derrick Rose decided to go the quick route back in 2015. But it might be easier to get away with in basketball though. The meniscus acts like a shock absorber for your knee. And in basketball, if you were a high flyer, then you definitely need those shock absorbers. But you can adjust your game and still be effective. Derrick Rose, for example, is not the high flyer that he used to be. He learned how to finish below the rim and improved his playmaking abilities. As an NFL cornerback, you can't really do that. You need to be able to hit and take hits. That is the game. There's really no adjusting that. Jalen Ramsey is going to need all the shock absorption that he could get. So a full meniscus repair was really the best course of action for him. 3 or 4 months is still way better than 6 to 8 months, which is what an ACL repair would require. If the rehab goes smoothly, he should be back by December at the latest. Jalen's spirits are high, and he's ready to get to work and get back as quickly as possible. He tweeted out a message to his fans that he'll be back on the field soon and that he'll be stronger than ever. He said that he trusts God's plan, and I know that Dolphins fans are praying too, or doing brujeria, or whatever rituals that they can to make sure that he gets back as soon as possible. The 6-time Pro Bowler is going to be a crucial piece to the team's success this year. And we've seen plenty of players come back from worse injuries and be stronger and even better than they were before. Adrian Peterson tore his ACL and came back in 9 months and almost broke the all-time single-season rushing record. AP missed the record by 9 yards, fresh off of an ACL tear. So coming back stronger and better than before is definitely a possibility. Dolphins fans, keep your heads up. Your Super Bowl hopes are still very much alive.